Hi, welcome to Tuition, and this is the drum module, and this very fine-looking man in front of me is Mr. Graham Fox. How are you, sir?
All right, thanks.
My name's Samira Rankin, if anyone doesn't know that, they do now. And I've been learning so much stuff over the past 5 modules. This is the 6th.
We're on 7.
Yeah, we're on 7. Goodness me, my head's just full of drums. And basically, I have been practicing. I found it does kind of take a long time for you to kind of get something right, but when you've cracked it, it's great. And now you're going to make me do some more hard stuff and confuse me even more.
Well, basically, we're just going to pick up from where we left off last time.
Okay.
And we'll just do a little recap on the ones that we did. So if you remember, we were going through the different options where you can put the bass drum around, in eighth notes, around the snare drum, if we're thinking in a 2-beat phrase. So the phrase is this: 1 and 2 and we're going to decide where we want to put the bass drum, but we're going to go through all the exercises, all the places you can put it, before you start making up your own beats. So let's just go through the first 3 that we did last time. Okay, so bass drum on 1, snare drum on 2, then bass drum on and of 1, snare drum on 2, bass drum on and of 2, with the snare drum preceding that on 2. So you'll get this, and we'll try and do it in 4 times through each.
Yeah.
So ideally, you should at least get it right 4 times before you move on to the next one. But we're going to try and link them all up this time, so you'd get this kind of thing: 1 and 2 and 1. Second time, third time, fourth time, moving on, and a 1. Then the and of 2, this time 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and we finished. Okay?
Yeah.
So we'll just go round and round that, and if you're making mistakes for now, we'll just, if you could keep up with me or try to, then
I'll try
we'll
my
be doing
hardest,
fine.
Graham.
Okay, so 4 times through on the beat 1, 4 times through and of 1, and then 4 times through and of 2, and then hopefully, if we've got that far, we'll stop. All right?
Okay.
After 2, okay? And we'll do it a bit slower than that so that it gives you a bit of a chance, okay? 2 beats in. 1 and 2 and 1. 2. Third time. Fourth time. On to the end of 1. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and of 2. 1 and 2 and good. Keep the hi-hat going. And stop.
I think what it is my problem is that it's on the and. I could do it on the beat.
Yeah.
But on the and.
Ands are hard.
It is. It's, you've got
so
to
we
kind of
have
just
to keep
think.
practicing all of those. Yeah, just going round and round with your metronome if you have one. Okay, let's try it again. And this time, if we get to the end, go straight back to the beginning. So the last one that you do will go and 1, and we start again. So it'd be 1 and 2 and 1, 2, and so on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
In theory.
4 of each. If you make mistakes, don't worry for now, okay? 1 and 2 and 1. Bar 2. Bar 3. Bar 4. The and of 1 next. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and of 2. Good. And back to the beginning this time. 1, 2 and 2 and 3. This time and a 1. And of 2. And stop. Okay, now we're having a little bit of trouble going from the first exercise to the second exercise.
I just
and
think
it's not a problem. It's just obviously you get into a routine of doing one, and what you should be thinking of is on the 4th time, where's the next bass drum going to go, and really just try and focus on not putting it on beat 1.
Can we try? You know, when we take out the hi hat and we just do the bass and the snare.
Absolutely,
is
let's
that
do
okay?
that.
Just because then I can concentrate on my foot and my snare, and then because this is kind of like
just
pretty
happening.
automatic.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it just kind of goes.
But obviously, sometimes occasionally, just occasionally, you were leaving that out, but it's then you got into it and
So
just
you
kept going
spotted
through.
it. So I got away
Okay.
with it.
So let's just go through. Let's just do the first two exercises. Okay, so bass drum on 1, snare drum on 2, then the and of 1, 2, and do the 4 times each, just the bass drum and the snare drum. Okay, so you'll get this: 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. This time we change. 1 and 2 and 1 and. Ooh.
Yeah.
1 and 2
Love
and
it when that
1
happens.
and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. So we just change back again.
So we're just doing 1 and 2.
Yeah, but 4 times through each. Yeah, and obviously again, as well as a metronome, just counting.
Yeah.
Counting out loud or in your
I think
head.
I might just do that, actually, count.
Yeah.
No, out loud, I mean. Hey up, lad.
After 2 beats. 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2 and. Right, now let's stop. Just one little thing, Sam. Which hand are you holding your stick in? Could have just passed it across, of
Bad
course, but we'll
girl.
just.
I know.
The concentration in all of it's
I
just too
know.
much, isn't it? Let's try again. Okay, so
Okay.
bass, left hand snare, because obviously that's the one that you're going to play it with. If you try, obviously it's no bad thing to do it with your right hand,
Mhm.
but that's not. We're
Well,
talking
no,
about
because you
muscle
practice it the
memory.
right way,
This
aren't
is
you?
a
So
big thing.
yeah.
Muscle memory. You're getting used to playing the
Don't
left
fall
hand.
into bad habits. No, that's me. I'm telling myself that.
Okay, let's try again. But
Yeah.
that was correct. Okay.
Okay.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. This time we change. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and going back on 1. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Good. And 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Right, now you've got that. Let's try just the hi-hat and the bass drum. So basically this isn't changing and this isn't changing, so therefore we should really concentrate on the combinations of either this and the bass drum, or the snare and the bass drum, or the hi-hat and bass drum. Doesn't really matter, but let's go on to the hi-hat with the bass drum. So 4 times through the bass drum on 1, 4 times with the and of 1. Okay? After 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Now moving on. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 back. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and a 1. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and stop. Okay, good. With the snare again. Okay, so this time all 3 together and we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. Okay, here we go. After 2 beats. Should we take it a bit slower?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and changing this time. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2
Round
and
again.
1 and 2 and 1. 2 bar 3 and 4. Here change. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and the shame, the shame.
I got it right, he got it wrong.
Now what we can do is go through the whole exercise, but you could try practicing exercises 2 to 3, so doing the and of 1 to the and of 2, or try practicing.
Whoa, slow down, mister.
Should we try that? We could do that. I'm just going through the routines. You
Yeah,
could do
yeah, of course we can.
first exercise and second exercise, second exercise and third exercise, third and first exercise, or have I gone through all of them? Just putting them in different combinations, basically. So you're not always getting into the habit of just doing the same
Now,
thing.
What?
round and round.
I mean, I'm thinking from memory, but the guys at home will be able to see on the screen
Yeah.
the exercises,
Yes.
and also you'll be able to sort of record them and go back to each exercise as well. So this is the top of my head.
So should we try exercises 2 and 3?
Okay.
Yeah. So the second exercise is bass drum on the and of 1.
And
then third exercise is bass
on
drum on the
the-
and of 2. So
Right.
first time it's before the snare, second time it's just afterwards. Okay. I'll demo it, and then do you want to just join in?
yeah, if you could, that'd be
Okay,
great,
so you'll get
thanks.
this 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and third bar. God. Change 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so
Okay.
on. I was just about to make a mistake, so I
I
stopped,
know.
covered it up. All right, should we
All
try
right.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's on the
And
it's
of
on
one,
the and of 1 and then the and of
2.
2. Okay. Can we just try the bass drum and the
Yeah.
snare first?
Yeah. Okay. After 2, 1 and 2 and 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 1 and back and 2 and 1 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 and 2 and
Right.
2
I'm going to again have to take my break
think I
and
will
practice
as well.
this. So in the break, guys, practice with me if you're as confused as I am. I'm very, drums. So thank you, Graham, and I'll
Pleasure.
practice after the break.